Hello, and welcome to PSP Zeta Iota's Weekend Update. I'm your host, Jenny Schott, and here are tonight's top stories. Tonight's Weekend Update is very special, and it's not just because I'm filming it from my favorite purple couch. No, tonight marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of Phi Sigma Pi. 100. We are 100 years old. That's really old. Like, most things don't get to be 100 unless you're a sea turtle. That's awesome. You know, PSP is kind of like that really cool grandma who wants to ride a skateboard, but when you're like, no grandma, you're going to break a hip, it's like, hey, little whippersnapper, let me live. And then they go ride the skateboard and they tear it up. You know, that's PSP. We may be old, but we are full of life. And we are just getting better every day. So thank you, PSP, for being #grandparent goals. So this week was Rush Week, and the first Rush event, as usual, it was speed dating. Brothers and potentials got to learn a lot about each other, but I think the most valuable thing that we all learned is that you should never, under any circumstance, ask Ashley for pickup lines. Don't do it. Just don't. Few brothers know this, but recently one of our brothers became a celebrity. Yes, Benjamin Chapman recently landed a role in the Life Alert ad. So, congrats to that, Ben. We are very proud of you. This week, Senior Dante Gleason continues his quest to embody all 18 ideals of a brother. Let's see how he did. We're here tonight with Senior Dante Gleason, who is attempting to exemplify all 18 ideals of a brother of Phi Sigma Pi. Tonight's ideal is grow and learn. So Dante, we want to know, how have you grown and learned through PSP? Have you?
I have. I definitely have.
We're not so sure about that.
Would you like me to explain? Because I was getting there.
Yes.
Okay. So, when I rushed my freshman year 3 years ago, that makes me feel really old.
Well, you are.
I know.
Really old.
When I rushed 3 years ago, I was really shy, and I didn't really have much confidence in myself as a leader, or really in any sense of the word, confidence. But that first rush event, that speed dating 3 years ago, that Monday night, made me feel so comfortable in myself around these people. And that sense of comfort really just grew throughout that rush week, throughout my initial semester, throughout my first active semester, and that led me to running for my first position of secretary that next semester, and I was still terrified because I wanted to give back to the fraternity that's given me a home on campus, but I didn't want to mess up because I loved this fraternity too much. But when I was elected, I realized that my brothers had confidence in me to be able to lead and do a competent job of what I was being elected to do. And that really started a fire in me to do as much as I could for this organization. So that led me to running for VP, President, and National Delegate. So I can't even begin to put into words how much this organization has given me and allowed me to grow and learn in that sense of leadership specifically.
Right. So obviously you can talk about yourself. Obviously you're good at that. Now Dante, we want to see more than just personal growth, that you can say, this is what I've done, this is how I've grown. So here's my next question for you. How has Zeta Iota grown and learned? Have you seen that at all? Have you? Or is it just all?
I definitely have seen Zeta Iota grow. I mean, when I came in freshman year, it was a completely different chapter. We were running about things differently. We were kind of still new, so we were still kind of growing our footing, and we didn't really know exactly where we wanted to be as a chapter just yet. And over the past 3 years, serving with many different brothers, from charters to now IOTAs, and soon to be Kappas, I see a lot more comfort in who we are and a sense of identity growing in Zeta Iota. Because we're starting to understand what works best for us and how we think a chapter should be running. So over the years, seeing through many different leadership styles, I think we're starting to become more comfortable in who we are and where we want to be in the future. So 5 more years down the line, at our 10th birthday, we'll have a lot more confidence, a lot more sense of footing, where Zeta Iota is. So.
Okay. You actually did pretty well on that question. I was kind of hoping I could stump you. That's right, but this next one's going to get you.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to answer.
Okay.
No one.
Okay.
All right, so Phi Sigma Pi turns 100 years old today. So, obviously, when it turned one, when we started it, it was, a century ago. So how have we grown and learned since then? And I want you to be very, very specific.
How have we grown since we started 100 years ago today?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the biggest area that we've grown in is making sure that everybody has the opportunity to grow and learn the same way that we have, and sharing the ideals that we have. So from going from just a simple all-male fraternity to going to co-ed, and just recently becoming gender inclusive, I think that's the biggest step that we have in realizing that there are so many different kinds of people in this world, not just 2 sets, and anybody in that entire spectrum can exemplify the ideals that we strive for every single day, not just at Zeta Iota, not just in Philly Metro, but in the entire country. And I think that's the best step that we've taken to make sure that anybody and everybody who exemplifies these ideals has the opportunity to grow and develop these ideals with this brotherhood.
Wow, Dante, that was a really nice, heartfelt answer, but it was a trick question. Dante can't know how Phi Sigma Pi grew and learned over the past 100 years because he wasn't alive back then.
True.
None of us can.
True.
Ha! I stumped you.
You did.
Ha! Well, another hard-hitting expose by Jenny Schott. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jenny Schott, and you're not. Good night. Be Amy Poehler. You are Amy Poehler. Yeah. I can't talk. I can't talk. I can't talk. I can't do it.
I have apple stuck in my tooth. Ugh.
Nothing has more accurately described my life ever.
Stab it 27 times, make a skin suit out of it. I'm not friends with you.
I know.
Good, just so we stop that. And that's on camera, too. One more acquaintance killed.